Good morning, afternoon, or evening from whenever or wherever you are watching this video from. I am Jack Adamas, back with my Premier League football predictions, episode 13, game week 13 in the Premier League. I have a very good feeling about this weekend, so hit that subscribe button. Now let's get straight into it. Gonna be a good day, a good vibe, ordering a bit of Postmates in my... We kick off game week 13 tonight at 8 PM as Brighton host Southampton. Now, Brighton do come into this game knowing that if they win here, they will move to second in the table, and they will be licking their lips as they host bottom of the table Southampton, and they are on a 6-game unbeaten run at the Amex. Southampton do currently sit bottom of the table, but they are only 5 points adrift from safety, so it's not as bad as it does seem, although they do have a big task tonight to try and beat Brighton. However, they do have the psychological edge over Brighton as they have only lost one of their last 7 head-to-heads. Brighton have only won 1 of their last 4 home games they've come into the match as favourites. I do reckon it'll be 2 though come full time here, as I reckon they'll win here in a 2-0 victory. Moving on to Saturday, where we have the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we start with Brentford at home to Leicester. Now, Brentford do come into this just outside the top half of the table, but they do have the best home form in the league so far this season, winning 5 and drawing 1 of their 6 matches so far this season at home. And if they do win here, it'll be the first time in their history they've managed to win 4 Premier League home games in a row. After the unfair dismissal of Steve Cooper, it does look like Ruud van Nistelrooy will be taking his seat in the dugout. However, that isn't signed, sealed and delivered yet, so they will have Ben Dawson in charge for this one. Brentford have scored more first half goals than any other team so far this season with 14. I do reckon they'll score again in the first half in this one as they win 3-2 here. Moving on to Selhurst Park, where we have Crystal Palace at home to Newcastle. Now, Crystal Palace do find themselves in the drop zone, and I'm not surprised as they have lost 50% of their matches so far this season. That also includes losing 50% of their home matches, and they have an injury list that keeps on growing, so I do think they'll struggle in this one. Newcastle are very inconsistent this season, and a lot of that is down to the fact that they can't find the back of the net. And with the firepower they have up front, it will just be a matter of time, I think, before they turn that around. Newcastle have won only 1 of their last 5 visits to Selhurst Park. I think come full time it will be 2 out of 6 though, as I can see them getting the victory here in a 1-0 win. Also at 3 o'clock, we have Nottingham Forest at home to Ipswich. Now, Nottingham Forest, after starting off the season so well, have now tasted back-to-back defeats, but it is definitely not all doom and gloom for them, as if they win here and results go their way, they could end game week 13 in the top 4. Although Ipswich do find themselves still in the relegation zone, they have picked up some big points of late. They have won 1 and drawn 2 of their last 3 matches, including wins against Spurs and drawing against Manchester United in their last 2 matches. The problem with Ipswich going into this one is they will believe they can get something out of this game, which will leave them open where Nottingham Forest will make them pay in a 3-1 victory. The last 3 o'clock kickoff sees Wolves hosting Bournemouth now. Wolves did look dead and buried a few weeks ago, but now they are on a game of 4 games unbeaten. They've got 2 draws and 2 wins to their name in those 4 matches, and they have scored 2 or more goals in all of those games. They do find themselves outside the relegation zone for the first time this season, and they will be coming into this one high on confidence, putting 4 past Fulham last weekend. Bournemouth are another inconsistent side in the Premier League so far this season, and you just don't know what Bournemouth will turn up in this one. I don't think it'll be a good one, unfortunately, for them, especially as they are winless in their last 4 away league matches. Wolves are currently on the joint longest scoring run in the Premier League. They've scored in their last 11 matches. On the contrast to that, though, they haven't scored in 3 of their last 4 head-to-heads against Bournemouth, so this game could really go either way, but I am going for a Wolves 2-1 victory in this one. And the late kickoff on Saturday is the London derby between West Ham and Arsenal now, with reports suggesting that Lopetegui had a couple of games to save his job. His team done him the world of good as they beat Newcastle away last time out. They do have a bigger task on their hand this time though, as they have got to beat Arsenal in the 57th London derby between the 2 sides. Arsenal, after going on a 3-game winless run, they have now won their last 2 games back-to-back, and they have scored 8 goals in those 2 fixtures. They do find themselves 9 points off Liverpool on the top of the table, so they do need a win here, especially as Liverpool play Man City this weekend, so they need to win here to put the pressure on those 2 going into Sunday. Out of those 57 London derbies, Arsenal have beaten West Ham 36 times, which means West Ham have lost to Arsenal more than any other team. I do think that will continue this weekend, as I can see Arsenal winning here 3-0 at the London Stadium. Moving on to Super Sunday at 1:30, where we have Chelsea at home to Aston Villa. Now, Chelsea do find themselves currently on a 6-game unbeaten run. However, their home form at the Bridge isn't been very good this season in the Premier League. In their first 6 matches, they failed to keep a clean sheet, which is the first time they've done so since the 1978-79 season. Villa come here on a bad run of form themselves, though they are winless in their last 7 matches, 4 of which have been in the Premier League. Villa will be confident coming here, though, as in their last 4 visits to Stamford Bridge, they have ended up leaving with at least a point. I do reckon they'll get back to winning ways here, and they'll pick up the 3 points here in a hard-fought 2-1 victory for Aston Villa. Also at 1:30 on Sunday, we have Manchester United at home to Everton. Now, Ruben Amorim's era at Manchester United is up and running now, as he got his first win under his belt with a 3-2 victory yesterday in the Europa League. He will be looking to continue that and get his first win in the Premier League so far this season and move Manchester United back up into the top half of the table. Everton have hit another blip in their season so far. They are now winless in their last 4 matches, and with the last 3 recent matches, they've even failed to score a goal. Visits to Old Trafford as well have not been nice to them, as they've only won 1 of their last 31 visits to Old Trafford. I think history will repeat itself here, and Ruben Amorim will get his first Premier League win here in a 2-0 victory for Manchester United. Also on Sunday at 1:30, we have the London derby between Tottenham and Fulham. Now, Tottenham do come into this game after getting a point yesterday in the Europa League, as they conceded a late equaliser against Roma. However, their last Premier League match, they did get a massive victory away at the Etihad. They beat Man City 4-0. So inconsistency is a problem for them again this season. They have won 3 and lost 2 of their last 5 Premier League matches. So which Spurs team will turn up? That is the question here. But their injury list is growing longer and longer, so it is a concern for their fans. Fulham currently sit 1 point behind Tottenham in the Premier League table, and again, they have their own inconsistency problems this season. In their last 5 Prem matches, they've won 2, lost 2 and drawn 1. So again, this really just depends on what Fulham team turn up here. Tottenham have won 4 of the last 5 head-to-head home matches between these two sides. However, with their up and down form, I can see this one ending in a high-scoring 2-2 draw. And they say save the best till last, so game of the weekend, it is the 4 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. It is first v second in the Premier League. It is Liverpool at home to Man City. Liverpool currently sit top of the table with 31 out of a possible 36 points so far this season, which makes Arne Slot only the 3rd manager in Premier League history to win 10 of his 12 first Premier League matches. Liverpool have also won 17 out of 19 games in all competitions so far this season, and last time out on Wednesday they did beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. So this season they've already beat the La Liga champions, they've already beat the Bundesliga champions, and this weekend they will be looking to beat the Premier League champions. There is no better time to play Man City, as they are now winless in their last 6 matches, which includes 5 losses in that time and a freak draw in the Champions League where they were 3-0 up against Feyenoord with 50 minutes to go, and Feyenoord came back in that game to draw 3-3, which must have been demoralising for them. That's even worse than a loss in some cases, and that was the first time in Pep Guardiola's managerial career that he let a 3-goal lead slip. Even with all that being said and how bad Man City have been so far this season, if they do get the victory here, they will only be 5 points off of Liverpool, and there's still 25 matches to go. I think this match will definitely be a cagey affair, but I can see Liverpool causing Man City their 4th Premier League loss in a row in a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. And for my extra game this weekend, it is the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday in the Bundesliga. It is 5th vs 1st. It is Borussia Dortmund at home to Bayern Munich. Now, Borussia Dortmund have looked very good so far this season in the Champions League. However, they have lost a third of their games in the Bundesliga so far this season. They have all come on the road though, as they have won 6 out of 6 on home soil. Bayern Munich will be looking to make it 12 games without tasting defeat so far in the Bundesliga this season, and I think they will do that in a 2-0 away victory. Thank you very much if you are still here at the end of my video. I really do appreciate the love and support I've been getting from you guys. Please do continue to like, share, follow, but most importantly, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Do have a good weekend, guys, and remember, if you don't shoot, you can't score. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.